And so we do a 4-card spread if you're new to our channel. And the first card represents
the overall environment of the month. What color is the month?
Pardon me, my voice.
Second card.
The second card
is that of challenges, obstacles, things that you may face this month.
And
Fallout from April. And then we will see the next card, which is the card of the unexpected.
and that's the most exciting card.
What you need to know.
What you need to know about what you don't expect.
Right.
And
And then the last card will wrap the reading up into a story, which will give you a sense of what all the 4 cards mean together in their entirety.
or they could be a specific event that could take place at the end of the month, or actually any time during the month, something important.
So,
So these cards are pre-shuffled, but shuffled spontaneously. And so the first card
are you ready?
is
Okay.
da-da-da.
All right, let's see. Okay, 8 of Swords. Very, very interesting card to color the entire month. So we're being influenced by some negative thinking that has us unable to move forward in some areas of our life. This card tells us that you are not able to see things clearly right now, so it may be a good time to separate yourself a little bit from your thoughts and do some meditation.
Yes, the 8 of Swords upright. This is a card of illusion, because you're under some illusion. You're under the sway. This is really, to me, a power card. You've surrendered your power, in a sense.
Okay.
You can't see your way out of a dilemma. You can't see your way out of a situation, because you see you're blindfolded. You're not able to see the forest for the trees. You're too close to the situation that you're in, and you don't see exactly the means by which you can release yourself and escape, because you're looking for an escape. You're looking for a way out. And unfortunately, what's happened is you're bound and tightly held in place, stagnant in place, because you refuse to look at reality. You see, the swords are truth, what's real.
What's in front of you.
What's in front of you.
Right.
So you don't want to look.
The obvious.
You know, a lot of people want to be bound, want to be captured, they situations and people can keep them bound by simply by pure habit.
Well, you know, there was a story on NPR about this.
There was.
Yes, it's about escape. It was about escapism, and there were 4 stories, and there were 4 types of escapism.
Oh,
one was
right.
pure physical escapism from captors,
Right.
and the need to combat despair during captivity and to remain hopeful that you can actually escape.
Right.
Another was escapism into drug culture,
Oh, yes.
heroin.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Sort of a psychological escape.
The idea is turn your thoughts around, because if you are identifying with these thoughts and accepting them as your reality, you will never escape this situation.
Right. You're being held by identifying with your captor, or
Right.
identifying with what captures you.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes it is much more comforting, even when you're suffering, to be where things are familiar.
Right. It's Stockholm Syndrome, where you identify with your captors
Right.
and not
So-
your protectors, or, you know, those who could come in and release you from this situation.
That's right. So that now the whole month of May is being influenced by this psychology of trying to find your way out of a situation that feels constricting
Right.
and immobilizing,
Right.
in a sense.
Good.
And so that's what
I
it's
think we
gonna
got
be
this
about.
one. I think we got this one covered.
You think?
I think so. Well, let's see what the next
You
card.
need to know.
What does the next card hold? Let's see.
And so you're challenged.
Okay, challenge is
Interesting.
healing. Okay, so in order to remove
Review.
yourself from this situation, you have to do the Pythagoras thing.
Yes, you do. You have to review.
Right, so
which
at
means
the
you
end
have
of
to
the day-
detach yourself from the situation, see it as if it's happening to somebody else, and then look at it objectively, rationally, from a higher spiritual perspective, and see what's going on from there, so that you're not being pulled and tugged by the sort of mental tethers to it.
Very good word.
You know?
I like that word, tethers.
It's
Yeah.
these tethers.
Because that's what this is.
Yes.
Tethers.
Tethers.
Yep.
You have to sever these tethers, and you can only do that if you detach psychologically.
Right, right.
See it from a distance. Let it settle in you,
Uh-huh.
and then peruse it.
Yeah, and it's also a card of forgiveness. Because
And
you can't
yes.
heal without forgiveness. So
Yes.
that could be your challenge this month.
Not
to review the situation from a distance.
That's perfectly right.
And then to, kind of see how you could have done it better.
Right.
Take some responsibility for the situation, because we're all, players in our own drama.
Yes.
And-
But more than even players, we're actually the manufacturers of our drama.
And
whether
then-
you like it or not.
At that point you can heal. Once
can
you
heal.
understand
Right.
what your part was, because you're voluntarily
You're voluntarily
sticking
here
with
too.
the situation.
Everything is voluntary.
Yes.
In these cards, even though
Yes.
it shows sort of some mental anguish.
Yeah.
It's all voluntary.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the tarot always points to the fact that we are responsible for everything that happens to us. I know it sounds very almost heartless in a sense, that
Right.
how could we be responsible
Right.
for things that are coming at
Right.
us?
We're co-creators
We're co-creators
with
of
God or the goddess. And
Yes.
thereby we create our own reality. So
We do,
must
we
take
do.
responsibility for that reality. And I
so
do
that's
think
what this is about.
Yeah.
Taking responsibility, taking quiet moments out to reflect
and understanding.
and understand your own
part.
psychology.
Yeah.
Why are you contributing?
Yeah.
Why are you permitting this to happen? Why are you giving your power away?
Okay, next card. Here we go. All right,
Okay.
there we go. So Ellie, that's all I can think about.
For this reading?
Yes! Oh! I know. Okay. All right, so what do you think it is?
So,
Card number 3, the unexpected, our favorite. What do you think it is? Aquarius?
oh my God.
Okay.
Judgment, upright. I mean, reverse, pardon me.
Yes, in the position of the unexpected.
Okay, so
Wow.
you can't make your mind up. You can't come to a conclusion. You can't formulate your decision. That there's some sort of
Yeah.
decision that needs to be made.
This goes along with this card
Yes,
perfectly.
yes.
Because I always see this card as a kind of rising to the occasion card, because you have the consciousness to do so. So if it's like this and it's in the upright, it tells us that you know something now, and forever that will change you.
And it's like an epiphany.
Yeah.
You receive an epiphany when it's upright, but you don't receive one if it's reversed. You're waiting for your epiphany.
Yeah, which really supports this card.
Yes, it does. So
So it's time for an epiphany,
it
Aquarius.
is. It's time for an epiphany, and it's a time for you to release yourself. These people are coming out of a coffin.
Yeah,
So it's very much the same as
It's
this
a
card.
resurrection.
It's a resurrection. So
Yeah.
you want release, but you unexpectedly still can't quite do it. You can't
Yeah.
open the door. You can't.
It's time, though.
You can't lift
Yeah.
the lid of the coffin.
Yeah, it's like you've been buried alive and you're trying to get out. And you will.
Isn't this a pleasant reading?
You will get out, because you are going to do exactly what this card says. So right now, I think this is our theme card of the
It
month.
is, it is.
The 4 of Swords,
Lock yourself in the bathroom.
which is meditation.
Yes, put candles around the bathtub. Play music, and if they want to get into the bathroom, say, "Leave me alone."
Right. You do need a little bit of
You
time
need
at the end of the
time.
day to review. so that you understand exactly how this is playing itself out, this situation,
It seems like you're not being able
on
to
a
carve
daily
out-
basis.
carve out enough time for yourself.
You
Is
think
what?
so?
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, to
Because
me
it's
it
a
just,
challenge. You see.
yeah, to me it just, yeah, right. But the challenge is to spend that time and stop doing, you know what I mean? And thinking, you know, that's the other thing. I mean,
Oh,
if
they
you're
can't
constantly thinking about all of these negative things, and we call it drawing straws, where you find this negative thing and then you find that negative thing, you find enough negative things to
Yes.
paralyze you.
Precisely, and you know, one of the remarkable things about thoughts are things. They're real. They have personalities. Each
Yes,
thought.
they do.
So when a thought has a characteristic of a negative characteristic, it actually magnetizes other negative thoughts, and they're pulled in.
Right.
And you're reminded of incidents that happened even years ago that are similar to the negative experience
Exactly.
you're having now.
Right.
Before you know, there's an avalanche.
And you build this really magnificent fortress of negative thinking.
That's right.
It's
And
a
you're-
beautiful
and you're
negative palace.
Plowed over by them. So be careful that doesn't happen.
And it's also, you know, a part of feeling victimized. You know?
Well, this is definitely
yeah.
that.
If you're
The first card.
if you're feeling victimized, you know, you may want to
Yes.
spend time kind of trying to sort through the
And it may be just
victim mentality. Okay, so you ready for the next
so
card?
ready for the last card. Let's see what comes up here. Another reversed. Interesting.
Oh
And
boy.
another major arcana card reversed.
This is a great month for Aquarius, because this is, once you turn these two cards around, it's going to be really
Yeah.
awesome, because you know you're going to have this great abundance. Now the Empress inverted tells us that you're feeling that you don't maybe have enough. You're not feeling abundant, and it's also the card of the goddess. So maybe you're not feeling sexual or sensual, or, but to me in this reading, this is all about abundance and you know, birthing, you know, not being able to bring into fruition what you are capable of, you know.
Precisely.
And I really think there's a block here.
Well,
When you start with this card and you look at this card and you see that there's this sense of sort of giving in and giving up a little bit to all of this negative thinking, if you take the time out to self-reflect, I think this can easily be turned around.
all right. So when I see the Empress, I realize that it has to do with birth, but there's a means by which to see it sort of like in it more abstractly, and that's gestation. That something is gestating inside of you, wanting to be birthed, whether that is a real baby.
Could
Say
be.
there's problem birthing a real
Right,
baby,
that's true.
or it could be birthing an idea. It's you see, she's very much a part of the earth,
That's right. Because if we see this card upside down and the question is pregnancy,
right?
well, no pregnancy this month.
Or that there's delays
Mhm.
in the birth of the baby,
Mhm.
and or some issue to do with it. But more than, because most
We're
people
not all
we're
birthing
not
babies
birthing
right
babies
now.
right now, but because it's a card of the earth,
Yeah.
you're trying to give birth to you're trying to manifest something on a material level. And all these cards say that you're unable to come to terms with your mental responsibility with the process, unable to come to the kind of firm, this is a very important decision that needs to be made in regards to this. You're tightly wound by your ideas, by illusory ideas, and or you've given up power to someone or something, and you can't come to a major conclusion about it.
That makes sense. You've given up power.
You've given up power.
Because once you give up power, you can't have your own epiphany.
You can't.
And then you really don't have a sense of even what your direction, focus, or passion is any longer.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that you can't turn that card around with a little bit of self-reflection and distance from the situation.
So May is a challenging month for you.
It is. And it's very important that you do turn these cards around and that you do spend this time reflecting, evaluating, maybe going to the beach and, taking a couple of days away,
which is
to
what
realign.
The Empress is. It's appreciation of the natural world.
Right.
Because the natural world heals you.
If it were in the environment, it would mean get out into nature, and understand that you are a part of nature.
Right.
We're not separated, and this is a very intellectual card.
Right. So you're living in your brain, and unfortunately you're being attacked by the ideas, instead of feeling that you can sort them out and make sense of them rationally. You can't, because they're one sort of pierces you, and then another of the same ilk comes right behind that.
So we have 2 solution cards here.
We do.
The unexpected epiphany will happen, and you can escape this mental victimization.
As long as you meet your challenge.
If you meet your challenge, which is take time out, you need to heal, be kind to yourself, wear a sweater when you're cold, go to the movies with your girlfriends, do all of those really kind and nice and gentle things.
And don't
for
surrender
yourself.
Your power. Don't do that.
Right. Don't surrender your power.
Don't do that.
And also, at the end of the month, you may not feel like it, but go outside, enjoy the beach, enjoy your backyard, look at the flowers, and realize that you are a goddess.
That's right.
And you are connected to nature. You give birth, Mother Earth gives birth. We are all one.
Yes, and there's a heart right beside the Empress. So there's an angel right beside you who wants to help you. You simply have to take the time to feel that. Feel the assistance of all your angels around you. And you can do that if you go out into nature and see. Nature's just a reflection of the beautiful spiritual. I see them as
it will feed them. It will,
I see them
it will
as
feed
just
you,
your
Aquarius.
angels above you, just wanting to lend you a helping hand. Just extend your arm out and take it.
And if you're digging in the garden, that's not the same thing. You're supposed to enjoy nature, not toil over nature.
Wait a minute.
No, it's true though. I mean, you have to take.
Is garden toiling?
Well, I mean, if you're digging ditches, or if
digging
you're
ditches,
outside, or doing something that isn't.
Gardening is beautiful.
Oh, gardening is beautiful, but really, you have to take the time to enjoy. Talk to the flowers.
Talk to the flowers.
Yes.
Oh, that's what Mr. Burbank did.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes. Talk to the
Mr.
flowers.
Burbank, he used to talk to the flowers, and he asked for their cooperation.
And they would.
And they would.
Yes, that's right. Cactus would grow without spines.
Without spines.
He's the only one who could make it happen. He and the Chinese guy that he taught.
The Chinese guy, yes. The only other guy who did the same thing.
So you can do it too. Talk to the flowers. Take time out.
Yeah, tell that cactus you don't want any spines.
Right. And we will be here next month as well. And now if you would like a reading, I think this would be a really nice month to have a reading, Aquarius, because this epiphany is close at hand.
Yes, it is.
And once you have that, you can turn all of these other cards around, and you will be able to boundlessly dance throughout the garden and
with your fairies on either side.
It's so Aquarian,
flying
isn't it?
By you. Oh, it is so Aquarian, isn't it? Yes. You were born with fairies.
Check out our website, virtualtarot.wordpress.com. Yeah. We post several different types of readings on our site. Readings. Yes, and this looks like a life path reading to me.
Oh yeah, well it could be. It
could be a business reading.
It depends on what it's written in reference to. If it's in reference to a relationship,
could be a love reading.
To whom you've surrendered your power.
Right. Could be an emergency reading.
Could be an emergency reading, or any. We have many categories. Please come there, have a look, and we We help connect you with your higher power, your higher mind, the angels, and they will help you. You'll see.
And thank you. Please stay tuned. Ava will be narrating a lovely little mini documentary about Isis,
About Isis,
the mother of all goddesses.
my favorite goddess.
Yes, and so stay tuned for that. Also, please check out our Facebook page. We post very fun things on our Facebook page, and
Okay.
we may post your theme song for this month. I'm
Oh.
not exactly sure what it is
Oh, it
yet, but we add a couple for the other signs, so
Oh,
yeah, and so stay tuned for that, and also share this with your friends, subscribe. We're starting a new thing. We're also posting mini clips, which are reading only.
yes, reading only.
So you can review
Just
your reading
Just the reading.
only. So
Only.
check that out as well. And we very much appreciate you tuning into Ancient Egypt.
Yes, and please, if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, those could be relevant to you as well. Please go there. And is that it?
I think that's it. You
I
ready
think
to
that's
namaste 'em?
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.